Hey guys. I'm guessing you're here because you have a high ticket offer and you saw my post. You want to know how you can sell your high ticket offers over on LinkedIn. Welcome to Sip and Strategy. I've got my beverage of choice today. I'm rocking with passion fruit and I want to say mango. It's a passion fruit and mango. I would love to know what you are sipping on today. Let me know if you have your beverage. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I've managed to figure out how to go live on the desktop as opposed to my phone. So hopefully, I'll be able to see the comments and I'll be able to engage with you. But yes, I'm on to share with you some strategies around how, as I say, you can sell those high ticket offers, right? So potentially you have been trying to bang people over the head with your offers on platforms that potentially aren't converting, right? So maybe Facebook or Instagram or Twitter isn't the place where your ideal clients are hanging out, and you'd be better served over on LinkedIn. So let's see if anyone is on. If you are, I would love it if you could leave me a comment. Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that we are in fact live. I'm finding my feet with all of this live streaming over on Facebook. Hey Jackie, can you hear me? Can you see me? Is the IT working as I hope and pray that it is? I was just about to fire up my phone to log in and see if I could be heard. So let me know. Let me know if you can hear me. Perfect. All good. Amazing. So the content for today that I want to share with you is all around how, you can sell your high ticket offers. So there's a few ways that you can do that. And what I'm going to be speaking about specifically today is the content that you share on LinkedIn, right? So the first thing that I want to check is a little temperature check. How many of you are active on LinkedIn? How many of you post, whether that is weekly, daily? Like, let me know what that looks like. I want to know who I'm speaking to. And if you are watching on the replay, just drop replay in the comments. But the first thing that I want to speak about, as I've said, is the content that we produce over on LinkedIn, and it's the type of content that converts. So let me just unpack a little bit about what that means for content to convert. I'm going to see if anyone shares if they are active on LinkedIn while I just have a sip. Let me know what you're drinking as well as we sip and strategize. Right, so when I say content that converts, what I'm talking about, it's the type of content that causes people to raise their hand, right? It causes them to step forward. It's activating, it triggers them to do something, right? So they're not just reading your content and kind of smiling and thinking, oh, that was good, and then moving on. They're actually taking some kind of action, right? So they step forward. And what does stepping forward look like? So that could be that they send you a DM, they send you a direct message to learn more about your services, or perhaps they register for your upcoming webinar, they register for or sign up for a lead magnet. These are the types of activity, these are the types of engagement that not only signals to yourself that your content is converting, but it actually signals to LinkedIn that what you're doing is valuable because people are engaging with your content. So that's just to kind of set the landscape. When I say content that converts, that's what I'm talking about. It causes people to do something. I'm not so big on the likes and the kind of comments. Those are nice, right? But for business owners, what we want is for our time, our efforts to result into leads, into conversations. I jumped straight in, and if you are new to my world, if you are new to me, I'm Shalina, also known as the LinkedIn Lady. I work with established female entrepreneurs, helping them to generate leads, clients, get more brand and visibility over on LinkedIn. So if you're new to me, hey, I'm so glad that you joined and came over to find out what this girl was talking all about. So that's the first thing that I wanted to go into, what converting content actually means. Right. So there are three ways that I'm going to speak about. There are more, but there are three ways in which you can create this type of content that converts. The first type of content is storytelling content, right? We as humans love stories. We read stories, we go to the cinema to watch movies, we tell stories to one another. It's something that humans engage with, and it create some kind of resonance if the story relates in that way. So, how do we do that on LinkedIn? So, the stories that you tell for your high ticket offers, they could be like your own stories. So, they could be a story around your business, it could be a story about a challenge perhaps in your business and how you overcame that. People like to get behind brands. They like to understand your kind of genesis and how you've ended up where you are, especially for coaches and consultants, people who you're going to be working in close proximity with. People want to understand, like, who are you? Like, why are you here? What's your credentials? So that's one type of story you could tell over on LinkedIn. A second type of story that you could tell is around like client wins, right? So, in us sharing our successes that we've managed to get for our clients, it's really important that we do this because people do not buy your service. They don't buy your service. What they're actually buying is the transformation, right? So, if you have been able to get a transformation for somebody, you've been able to get a result, create content around that. That's what you need to talk about. That's what you need to put front and center. Because if I have the problem that you have resolved, I'm leaning in. I want to know more. I want to understand, you know, is this something that I could potentially get the same transformation? I want to understand like your process. What was the framework perhaps that you used? So, in sharing a client win, how I do it, and I tell my clients to do it, is to not only share the win and the transformation, but also share some of the strategy, right? So, what did you do? What was your part in it? You know, when this client came to you, what was their condition? What was their issue? What was their challenge? What was the framework that you did? How were you able to get them the result? And then what was the transformation? So a client comes to me, for example, and they're not getting any leads. You know, they're posting content and nobody's engaging, nobody's signing up for their email list, nobody's coming to their webinars. We put a process in place, right, for them to get more visible, for them to get in front of the right audience. And as a result of that, that visibility, that know, like, and trust, all of those things that kind of work together, what they start to see is that the leads start to come in, right? They're getting more sales calls, more discovery calls. So it is a case of like almost feeding the machine. The more activity you do, the more you get out the other side. Let me know if you guys are still on, if I'm making sense, if you are with me or you're with the Woolwich while I have a little swig of my tea. Let me know if I'm still making sense. So our client wins, that's a type of storytelling, really, laced with, interwoven with the results, the strategy, the process. So that is the first type of content that converts. The second type of content that I want to encourage you to share is like social proof, right? If I'm buying anything, and I say this all the time, if I'm buying anything, whether it's on Amazon or any other website or online marketplace, the first place I'm going to are the reviews, the testimonials. I want to see a video of somebody who in their living room is showing the thing that I'm considering buying. I want to see it in the wild, right? I want to see it in operation. That it's not just the person who's selling it is telling you it's good. There's a Jamaican saying that a fisherman isn't going to tell you that his fish smells. Like, he's not going to tell you that. He's going to say it's fresh, it's amazing, it's great. Okay, that's good, but I want to hear from somebody who's purchased your fish, and I want to know that it doesn't smell. So if I'm like, yeah, if that resonates and I'm making sense, drop me a one in the chat. Let me know if that makes sense. We need for other people to say that what you are doing gets results. That's what we need. We need for people who have used your services to vouch for you. And what that does is, like, there's a term and it's eluding me right now, but we as humans, we don't do anything. We kind of have like this kind of huddle mentality, right? No one wants to be the first. No one wants to be an early adopter. Jackie, I'm loving the laugh. I know that you guys can still hear me, which is great. The fisherman's not going to tell you his fish stink. He's not. He's not going to tell you that. But yeah, we don't like to be the first. We don't like to be early adopters. So by virtue of you having testimonials, by you having proof that your high ticket offer, the thing that, costs potentially £2,000 upwards, two, three, four, all the way, whatever, the sky's the limit. We need to know that other people have invested and have seen a return on their investment. So having testimonials, and where do you put these testimonials on LinkedIn, right? So this could be in your services section. You could have testimonials there, whether they are written testimonials or you could have video testimonials within your content, right? So your content, as I've said, sharing a post, maybe you screenshot something from a client to share what they had to say, to share, I call them love letters, to share the love letters that they've given to you. So you can show that in your content. You could also show it in the recommendations on LinkedIn, right? So if you're connected with somebody who you have worked with, you've delivered a service for, they can give you a recommendation and that lives on your profile. So there's nothing like greater than that, because anybody can create a testimonial in Canva. I can knock up a testimonial and put some stars on it and say, blah, blah, said I was amazing. But somebody who on their LinkedIn profile that is potentially connected to their job, it's connected to their business, actually stands and vouches for you and says, you delivered results, you are amazing. Like, I always say, right, guide them a bit. When you request a recommendation on LinkedIn, you can, when you send that request, give them a bit of a guide, because you don't want them to just say, yeah, Jackie was good. No, I want you to kind of outline what was the problem when you came to me, what was the challenge, and how did I help you to transform, so that when somebody is reading this piece of content, they can start to envisage themselves in that position, getting those results. So what have I shared so far? The first type of content is storytelling. The second one is social proof. I'm about to move on to the third type of content, and that is just value-based content, right? And value-based content really helps to position you as an expert. That's what that does. It positions your expertise. It positions you as a credible, fill in the blank, a credible coach, a credible consultant, a credible whatever service it is that you offer. And the reasons why you're able to command these high ticket prices, what is that? What's your value, and how can you communicate that through your content? As I've said, if you're sharing a client win, sharing the strategies that you use, that's valuable. Perhaps you share some insight into getting a quick win for your ideal client. So whatever the problems or the aspirations that you help others to achieve, sharing insight into that and giving them a quick win through your content. And what that does is it people are more inclined to take out their debit credit card when they've been able to get a win from something that was free. They're now more inclined to pay you. I see it over and over again in my business. Clients who, well, people who have now become clients have started with free content. So whether that is just sitting in my LinkedIn audience and then stepping forward to, work with me, or perhaps they come on a webinar or a challenge, they've engaged in something that's valuable, they've been able to get a win, they've been able to see my expertise, and then they're able to hop into like paid content. So always giving value over on LinkedIn is gonna like really help you to get people to convert, and to become paying clients, to move along that buyer's journey, to move from being a cold lead right down to them now becoming evangelists of your service. I delivered it was like a starter strategy session, and I'll tell you guys a bit about that in a minute. But I delivered a starter strategy session for somebody to help her to get her profile set up, to build out activities that she could be doing like daily, weekly, monthly on LinkedIn, and helping her build out a content strategy. That was on Monday, I think it was. Today I just got a message from her saying, hey, like, is it okay if I share your details with the coaching community that she's a part of? Um, so that's opened a door, right? So I say that to say, as they move down that buyer's journey, they eventually become advocates, evangelists of you, and they start to almost help you to do the legwork. So, yeah, let me tell you a bit about the I'm calling them clarity sessions on LinkedIn. And this is for people who aren't ready to invest into those bigger ticket, high ticket offers, that I do offer, but they wanting to just get up and started on LinkedIn, right? So maybe your profile is a hot mess express and you need help optimizing that. Perhaps you don't know how to even use the platform, right? So I do what I call like look over my shoulder, and I walk you through how to use the platform. Within that as well, we're building out like your content strategy. Who is it you're speaking to? What type of content is going to cause them to convert? And then they get like a bundle of other resources. So if that sounds like something that you need, if you are not leveraging LinkedIn, you want to like dip your toe in, right? Maybe you are getting success on other platforms, but your interest has been piqued around LinkedIn and how you can leverage that more, feel free to drop in the chat and just say clarity. Or feel free to send me a DM and I can send you more details around those clarity sessions. But guys, I hope that you got value from this. Let me know what type of content you are going to start with. So is it going to be some storytelling content on LinkedIn? Is it going to be some social proof that you garner and share, or is it going to be value based content? I would love to hear. I'm going to hang about for a bit in case there are any comments that are still to come through. Let me know, guys, if you took value from this, if you found this helpful. Feel free to share it with a friend who is absent on LinkedIn, or you know that they're always saying, oh, I need to get my LinkedIn sorted. I'm your girl. Share this with them, and yeah, I can definitely drop some gems or jump onto a call and find out what it is that they are struggling with and how I can help. But guys, enjoy the rest of your day. I can't see any more comments coming through, so I'm going to jump off. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will be back next week, Wednesday, for another sip and strategy. I've hardly sipped. I've done a lot of strategy talking, which is fine. But I can see Jackie's comment has come through. Trying to persist with storytelling. Yes, very helpful. Yeah, storytelling, like there's I guess an art to it, right? Because we don't want it to be like, what is it they say, like a hammer veiled in like silk. Like you're blatantly trying to sell. um what we want to do is, I know that you have a problem, I have a solution, and this is what I did. If it's something that you think can help you, fine, go ahead, like, reach out, contact me. So there's a way to do it that isn't like salesy, pushy, like ridiculously like promotional. You're really telling a story, and it's not you making stuff up. The facts are the facts. And we are just communicating that through our content. So, guys, I'm going to jump off and leave you to the rest of your afternoon. Yeah, it has been absolutely fun to hang out. And let me see if I can figure out how to end this now, because, yeah, as I said, I'm figuring this thing out on the fly. This might be interesting. You might have to just hang out with me for the rest of the day. All right, I think I can see it. I think I can see it. Guys, enjoy the day. Take care. God bless you all.